secondary school boys and 2/3 of girls never shower after PE, according to a new study. The paper in the European Journal of Sports Sciences says that pupils who do not shower are actually less active, and the researchers from the University of Essex say these children may miss out on the health benefits of PE.
We found that the girls who didn't shower did a lot less activity after school. Boys who didn't shower, we found that they were doing less team sports, and both boys and girls were less active overall. Girls were even less fit, and we think that's really important because teenage girls were the least likely to be showering. They were also the least fit, and we think that often teenage girls, PE is their only chance to do vigorous activity in a week, and if showering is stopping them doing it, that has major implications for health.
Hello, let's find out some more. With me is Dr. Zoe Williams, who you might recognise as Amazon from the TV programme Gladiators. She's now a GP and advises Public Health England on physical activity. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I'm quite surprised by this, were you?
I was actually. I was surprised that the figures are so staggering. However, I'm not surprised that the tendency is for children to not shower in PE. There are lots of reasons. When I go into the workshops that we do, Fit for Life, we go and we speak to girls. We speak to boys as well, but my focus is mainly on the girls. And there are lots of issues. I think self-esteem and body image are key. And these girls, their bodies are changing, and the last thing they want to do is get undressed in front of their friends, in front of their peers. And then certainly time comes into it as well. If they're restricted in the time that they have to do the activity session in the first place, so they don't have time to do their hair and their makeup, and that's something that I'm finding is actually really important to them. Their image is really important, and if they don't have the time to make themselves look nice, then they'd rather not have a shower.
What can schools do to help this? Because I mean, I remember with horror back to my own school days where we had open communal showers, so nobody wanted to take a shower. And you're right about the time factor as well. So what can schools do to make it easier?
Yeah, I mean, according to this study, schools have changed quite a lot since we were at school. The shower facilities are better, they have hot running water, and I've even heard that some of the schools have hair dryers and even hair straighteners. So it sounds like the schools are doing what they can, but I think the only thing they can do really is to dedicate more time to PE, and I understand it's very difficult because the curriculum is already so condensed. But what we do find is children who are active do perform better academically, and they're 15% more likely to go to university. So that would be one argument for allowing there to be more time for PE, even if that includes extending the PE session by 10-15 minutes so that they can have a shower. And I think it's also important to educate children about why PE and why physical activity are important, and that might make them more likely to get involved.
Is it the case that girls are not taking up the option of PE then as much as boys?
I think it is, yeah. And when I ask the girls in the workshops, they say that they're very aware of the gender gap that there is. They think that boys are expected to be involved in activity more than they are. They get away with it much more easily. I think the recent campaign by Sport England, This Girl Can, is really empowering, and that sends very strong messages to girls and to women that whatever your barriers are to stop you being physically active doing sport, to break them down.
In our introduction, we said that those who don't shower afterwards are actually missing out on part of getting fit, even if they do the PE. Why is that? Well,
for those 2 or possibly 3, if they're lucky hours of the week that they get an opportunity to do some vigorous activity in PE, we often find that that's all they do. In terms of physical activity that's vigorous, that might be all they're getting an opportunity to do throughout the week. But also, probably more importantly than that, we find that these girls are less active in their everyday lives. Public Health England have launched Everybody Active Every Day, which is a framework to try and incorporate physical activity into normal daily life, trying to get people moving just all the time, getting to work, getting home from work, and in their leisure activities as well. So it might actually be the case that people who are doing PE are more likely to walk to school, walk back from school, and get those bigger health benefits from being more active daily.
Dr. Zoe Williams, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you. Now, Scotland's suffering more travel disruption as heavy snow has caused delays on roads and